Hello Tech Genius, I am Ravi. Have you ever imagined a place where learning is as dynamic as the technology shaping your world? Then here's a deal. With iMatix, you can make sure the learning is exciting, impactful right from the beginning. You have interactive sessions with expert-led courses. In the world of tech, from data science to cloud computing, it's not just about a session, it's about doing, building, learning by solving real problems. So let's get started. Let's talk a little bit more about provisioning. Here we are trying to integrate an application database application. What is meant by provisioning? Let's say it is in the layman term, right? If you talk about provisioning, creating account in your target application. Basically, if I have an application, let's say my application name, let's say here it is DB application database application. This application, it is managed by your Saviynt. Right? We are managing this application by saving via Saviynt. And if I create an account in this target application, let's say this ABC account, this user was here, ABC user. And this ABC user, if I try to provision it, or I want to create an account in my target application here, that time this terminology we used to call provisioning. How this provisioning mechanism is happening in the day one, right? In day one when HR, right? Import the user or they created the user in their HRMS application. Right. Or in our simulation case, we are again using the same DB. They created a user here in ABC. That means this ABC user got onboarded to a company. He got selected, right? And he got offer letter. He's after that HR, fill all the data in this HRMs or DB application, right? Their first name, last name, your user. ID employed all the data they feed out here in this application. Now this ABC user is ready, right? And from here Saviynt is taking all this data. That means from this ABC user and in this HRMS application, whatever he has the data, this data it is getting faced by Saviynt, right? Through user import. Once this user got onboarded to Saviynt and Saviynt, this user is present. If you wanted to have this user to send to the target application, why it is required? Because we are managing this database application. Let's say this database application, it is a simulation of your Outlook account or any other application like your timesheet. Why somebody required their star grid application, right? They needed access to this application to perform their daily basis task. Here this ABC user, it was here, right? He need access to this application to perform that task. That is why we are going to create this account in ABC application. How this application will this access will have, right? In between your Saviynt and ABC, we have our concept called connector. This connector, it is holding your target application details, like what is the credential to connect to this target application. What is the URL of this target application and what parameter required for creating this account in target application, like your first name, Last name, everything we are mentioning is in a user, in a create account JSON. Create account JSON. We are mentioning all this mapping parameter, right? Of ABC user of a first name in Saviynt, it should match to this database application first name. Same, like this in Saviynt last name, it should map to the last name of your database application, target application. We are matching the first name to first name, last name to last name, and those mapping information we are providing in our create account JSON. Once this connector or connection part is ready, right? After that, what we are talking, this connector cannot work alone, right? It cannot work alone. What we are doing, this connection information we are passing under a security system. What we call this security system, it's like a placeholder where it is keeping your target application information. Here I am mentioning the connection information. Again, right? The security system, it is a placeholder, right? We need another part of information, that is endpoint. Basically, I will be mentioning in the endpoint, right, where my account or user information should get created. Those information I am going to mention again, right? Those information we will be mentioning in the endpoint. Now, once our endpoint is ready, right? What we are going to do, if you want to create a user in your target A, B, C application, I will go to incipient ARS menu. Is that right? Error. In ARS, I'm submitting a request access for others, right? If you go to that and select this A, B, C user, once you select this user, right after in the next step it will ask you which application you want to provision the user. There I need to select this endpoint, this A, B, C endpoint, right? Once I select this database endpoint, after that I have to submit the request. Once I click on the submit request, it will generate a request ID for us, right? This request ID, it is generated to keep a track of our record, what we are doing there. Once this request ID is generated, using this request ID, right? This request ID, it can be again to type it, we talk, right? It can be with approval or without approval, right? Without approval. Let's say some of the critical application that might require your manager approval. We can mention that thing in the workflow. Here we are giving without approval. That means this request ID, it will be auto approved, right? Once it is auto approved, it will generate a task ID for me using this task ID, right? This task ID I'll be mentioning in the BOS retrieve job. What this BOS retrieve job again doing, right? Because we created a connection here, right? It is our save end and this is our target application. All three information, it is in a different entity. Save end, it is a framework, right? It cannot alone do everything. It requires different artifacts, right? How it is happening? Like if you say this BOS retrieve job, right? it is a piece of code. You can see piece of code. It is written in the backend, and we have to mention what is our connection. Basically, this WS retrieve, you know where the account should get created. We have to mention it here that it will. The account will get created because, like DB, we may have many applications. We may have our Saviynt database. We may have our ServiceNow application, right? ServiceNow application. We may have our Active Directory application. The Saviynt ABC user where this account should be created. We need to mention those information in the BOS retrieve job. Once we mention in the BOS retrieve job, right? Then after we run the job, this account information, it is going to create it in your target database. Let's have a look here how we are going to generate the request. Log into your Saviynt environment. Click on this admin menu. Click this three-dot icon. No, not there. Go to IaaS. Once you click on the IaaS, you have to click for request access for others. Once we click in the request access for other, pick any user who is active. Click here. Click on next. Right. And we have to choose our application name. This is like database training save. Add to cart. Click on checkout. And click on next. It's in command. I'm just giving a simple comment. Click on submit. Once you click on submit, right, you see the request is in it, right? You can copy this username and go to task and check in the pending test, or else simple click view status. Once you go down, right, you see this is a corner and it is telling the endpoint name. Data was training save and it is requested by your admin user. And this is the comment we have given, right? And if you scroll down the task, it is telling it is already an auto approved task, right? What is the class type? It's a new account request. And again you see your endpoint name for which we are submitting the request. What is the request type? This is like for others, not for me. What is the start date and what is the approved date? And it is approved. Once it is approved, you see there is a task appended to it. Click on this task, right? And the task edit is written. This is your task type and the status is new. It means it is not being performed till now. Right. What we'll do now, open another tab. Again, clicking this three dot, go to your job control panel. Again, go to the utility menu. And in the provisioning job, scroll down, click on action, click start. And here you have to give your endpoint name. Database running safe, chooses one. More option. Click here. Right. New account. And now submit the request. Once you submit the request, the job going to start. And let's give a minute to this. Now what it will do, it will try to see if there is any request got generated for the same application or not. If you go to the pending task, right, the job is already processed, right? It is processed. how you can check, right? Go to pending task here. Instead of pending, does not click completed task. And this is your creation date. Click on it that you know it will come with a sorted order. Right. And you see this requested. It is got to emulate got. And this is task ID as state new account. This is the username. And what is the account name here? Same username we're using as an acronym. This is your security system and this is your endpoint. And this is your request ID. First, this request ID was generated. If it little come right. See, status is completed. If anything, it will outright. That will get entire provisioning comment here. This task is not error outright. I see you have tried 1, 2, 3 tasks, which is, error. What is this error? It is showing if I scroll a little down, let me drag little right. This is stealing. There is a syntax error in your SQL. You have an error in your SQL syntax. Check the manual that charisma. Insert into Shriti. And you gave ID mail. First name, last name, username 5, attribute your personal value is 5300. Email you are giving null. You are not passing. The theta passing. First name, last name, your passing username was your passing. One value you were sending null prior to pass the email. ID right. And does this table exist? The __ account, yes. AI. Let's start. This is your table information. If I search it, the G's are the data you're trying to pass, right? Admin user is already there. You passed it. No worries. We'll get up with the email address. Susan, I think this got through your maybe input, but you created this account, right? And it didn't happen. Copy that. Type. I'll give something. Genie.com and save it. Right. Now your account is saved. Review this. Will it be applied? I think it's already saved. Now let's look at your syntax. What do you have written here? Go to Identity repository. Go to your connection. Connection 1 at 2, 3. This is your. Create a congestion. Copy. Create a congestion. Take it out. First name, last name, username. 3 5 values. ID user email. User first name. User last name. User username. Finally, you are giving a. This bracket refers into this one. And this bracket reversing to this one, and this is your double quote of the ending. Starting with double quote. I think it's good. Let's try to. Then this task again, right? Instead of complete task, let's go to pending task. This task will be completed with error outright. Let's say it's a new request for your application, right? Request access for the. I will choose this user. Click on next and type your application name 123. Submit this application. It says click checkout right. Quotes. And I'll type some comment. Submit the request. This request is already originated. Click on view status. Now this is our top group. That's great. Go to task. This is your account key and this is the user. Before processing it, let's open the log part and see how it is happening. I'll just keep the log ready. Before running the jobs, run the same W3. Now instead of it has double sending, you have to choose 1, 2, 3. And account type, this would be new account, right? Hold on one thing. You're doing it through visiting, then why this account? No. Let's submit this request now. And let's wait what it is doing. To 6, right? The job is finished. Let's grab the log. We have the log. Now go back to the first menu, right? Is it afresh, this only? You pass. It's completed, right? The task is completed. If you go like for this user, copy this user. This is your username, right? Copy this username. Go back to admin menu. 3 dot. Add repository. Click on user. Type the username here. Open this user. And click on the account. Your database account, it is created here. You can also verify. See, there is an admin and your data analyzer used to be here. You need to run the query, but it is not available in the. How are you going to check? I'll go to the database, right? Same query, right? Select username. First name. Last name from the users. Save. Users. Where username equal to. This was your username, right? Username is this. This is saved into this way. YND, right? username, comma, right? What happened to it? Now run this query. User version where username, you got the data right. Username Daniel, last fiber, right? This user is created in your civilian database. And we got a confirmation from the running the query as well as in the UALs in the account. It is there. If you want to check same account, right, whether it is present in your endpoint or not, you can click here. I didn't because it would have secured a system. Open your security system, right, and go to the page and go to endpoint. Click here, the endpoint, and go to your account. These are the account. What is it present for you? Now let's see. We are doing two things here, right? In the first place, right, we created the connection, that is fine. And if this is your saving environment from here, right, if you remember in the day one, right, this was like your HR header. So HR was uploading this user information, right? And this user, what is getting created in your Saviynt system from Saviynt system? We are trying to again provision this user as an account to your target application. Let's say DB, because this is a new application, right? Let's say if we have three user, let's say like Ram, Sam and Gopal, this three user you just bring by your RMS equal to this HR trusted source, right? This is your trusted resource, trusted the consolation, trusted system, right? Through this trusted source, right, HR bring back this three user to your Saviynt application. And this three user got created here, right? And again through the database, through the provisioning, right, we are bringing back this information to your database application because this database, it was a new application and the account got created. Tomorrow, let's say this is all happening for your company. Let's say Xerox company, right? You're working under a Xerox company and HRMS took the interview of these three candidates. This three candidate got passed and then these three candidates are hired after that. HR, they're creating their account information here and from here Saviynt managing their resource. Let's say Xerox is a company who took over another company, right? This Xerox, like they took over another company. Let's say some A, B, C or XYZ company was there. It was performing well. That is why Xerox took over the company. And they said like we have like 500 accounts in this target application, right? And we want to merge with your Saviynt system. Or in the other way, you can tell we had already old application, legacy application in the sense the account which is present long back before Saviynt, when Saviynt was not there, right? Saviynt was not there. That time this application still exists, right? And they had 500 plus users already. These user information, right? it is there. And again, this XYZ we want to manage with Saviynt, right? That if you want to manage this XYZ application, what is the criteria again? If you like this video, please like, share and subscribe to our YouTube channel.